Welcome to the Cry Hall here at Leeds Met's Headingley campus for Carnegie Sports Weekly Live. Our live match action today sees our netball side face a top-of-the-table clash against arch-rivals Loughborough. A win for the home side will see them finish top of the league, where defeat will hand Loughborough the title. Today's match commentary is provided by ex-England international Tracy Neville, but I'm joined first by Stephanie Wilson, an injured Leeds Carnegie player who's currently on her way back from injury. So Stephanie, it's going to be a tough match today. How do you see this one going? Oh, it definitely is going to be a tough game. It could go either way. If both teams step up to the mark, it's going to be extremely close, but fingers crossed Leeds will take it at the end. Well, thanks, Stephanie. We'll be catching up with you again at half-time, but I'm going to hand over now to Tracy, who's going to run through the teams for us. Tracy? Thanks.
The team today will be goal shooter Joanne Walker, goal attack Carla Dwocki, wing attack Fran Marshall, centre Natalie Panagari, wing defence Danielle Bloomfield, goal defence Laura Gregory, goalkeeper Afrika Morris, and on the bench will be Chantel Hankin. The Loughborough team will be goal shooter Jo Harton, goal attack Alex Kirk, wing attack Katie Rose, centre Lucy Adams, wing defence Rebecca Gentle, goal defence Kate Bradshaw, goalkeeper Nicola Cornt, and the substitutes will be Rachel Sharrod, Nia Rawlins, Sarah Jane O'Sullivan and Nia Campbell-Watson. Leeds Carnegie lead off today with the centre pass, Natalie Panagari. So Mark, what's your prediction for today?
Obviously, last time out against this side, Leeds Met unfortunately lost to Loughborough away from home. So obviously the home fans will be hoping that they can really get some revenge for that performance and come out on top here.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. The last result was 48-39 to Loughborough. You know, we've got 9 goals to get back from that. I think the key players for Loughborough Lightning are goal shooter Jo Harton, who, if we saw her in the World Championships earlier on in the year in October, she was absolutely phenomenal. She could shoot the ball from anywhere, and with the added supply of ball from England under-21 international Katie Rowe and Alex Kirk, our defence are in for a really tough time today.
Well, unless I'm wrong, we've had the first points of the day scored, both by Loughborough there. Just talk us through how the scoring works here, Tracy.
It works in the fact that obviously we have centre pass, alternate centre passes, and then obviously we get a steal like we've just seen Loughborough Lightning do. Then it then goes down to the opposing team's end. Yeah, Loughborough had a good chance, but we actually had a chance from that. Afrika took a good interception in the first 9 minutes. We just need to get ourselves together, gather some space.
Did she just enter touch then? Is that why Loughborough regained possession?
Yeah, we're running ourselves out of space. What Loughborough are trying to do at the moment is trying to force us wide and into each other, and we seem to be playing into their hands. That was unfortunate by Katie Rose. Influential, normally a goal attack. She plays for the national team as part of the World Youth Championships. But we can't be standing against players like Adams in the middle. She's a strong player. She's going to come through hard and take ball. That just doesn't give our defence a chance to get back and take position.
Looks like a very strong start to the game from Loughborough. They've obviously got a lot of pressure on them here coming to Leeds Met, and they've started very strongly there.
Yeah, like now, what force have we put on the third line? Leeds, need to get it together. They need to start finding the space. Like if you look at Jo Walker there, she's got a great position in the circle. She's wanting the ball, and they just keep playing it around. Our centre court, one of our main aims is, to drive the ball down to our shooters. The benefit that we have in the circle is, you look how tall these girls are. They're like 6'3", 6'4". We've got to take that to our advantage. So.
I watched the side earlier in the season and was particularly impressed by Afrika Morris. She really brings a real physicality to the game. Is that something that the rest of the team can learn from? Yeah,
Afrika really struggled with the style of play that England played when she came over. But what people don't find predictable, she's not predictable. She hangs off. She goes hunting for ball around the court, which she just did then. We just need, us to find our form. So that's Bloomfield to Panagari, to Woki. That's a great move onto the edge of the circle by Panagari. And we just need Woki now to sink this in. That's a great shot by Woki. It's so difficult for shooters shooting, outside the comfort zone. But now with the added, the intensity and the play that they're doing at weekends in the Super League, this is giving our shooters so much more exposure to pressure situations. Look how easy the play is, Panagari driving to the top with Fran supporting her in the corner. I think that could have gone straight back into Woki. I think we're making a little bit of hardship in that defensive circle. Like I said, we've got tall defence and we can move, got tall shooters and they can move as well. I think we just really need to expose that now. And that's took us 3-2. We're actually coming back into this game. We really need to stop and put the pressure on now on this second phase of the ball. That's a great hold by Jo Harton. And that's the first time you ever see Jo Harton miss. She was shooting 2 pointers in the World Champs when you could shoot out the circle earlier on in the year. She was phenomenal and really a crowd pleaser in a game.
As you mentioned, both of these sides also have Super League franchises. Do you think that the intensity of the game that they're playing at that elite level is helping their university Bucks action sort of reach a new level as well?
Yeah, definitely. And it also gives, educational facilities great exposure. If you look at today, we look at it going live on podcasts. That's a great ball by Woki into the corner. Yeah, that's good. That's what the shooters have been working on, playing it in and out. And then in, and look at the patience of that, and it looks so easy when they do that. Like I was saying before, it's not only the play, it's the coaches as well. We now have director Annie Newell in place. Loughborough have, my ex-England teammate, Olivia Murphy. And I think that is so good that we're getting these young coaches through and they're adding their input into the game, because these are guys who've been exposed to a lot of coaches and competition through the years, and now they're generating that experience through the young girls and the young team. So it's Loughborough centre pass through to Katie Rose. If you look at that, we have to stop them baseline runs by Alex Kirk. That's one of Alex Kirk's specialities. Alex Kirk being an ex-Leeds player, she's from this Yorkshire region, and it's good to see her that she's going out there again for Loughborough. And influencing some of the game that she got taught here at Leeds Met. That's great. Well, we've just got to be patient with that, Mark. We've just got to take our time. There's actually no requirement there, pressure on Jo to go on 1 foot, and it's really good that she should just get her foot in, play it in. When we're calm and we play it in, the ball just goes easily into the circle. So
just talk us through that infringement there. Was it the fact that she was moving while she still had the ball, or was it a foot? She was catching it on 1 foot. What was the foul there?
Basically, what she did is she was landing, and instead of just taking obviously the 1-2 footwork rule, she was throwing on the go, and actually has not got the stability, to control that and hold back. I think. She did have the time to do that, and she could have waited, which would have really helped.
And just another foul called there, was it?
Yeah, by Afrika. What she was trying to do is force Jo Harton out the circle. You've got to force Jo Harton. She's a great shooter anyway, but the hardest place for anyone to shoot is on the edge of the circle, and that's what Afrika Morris then did absolutely excellently.
We've just seen a bit of a wild pass thrown there, Tracy. I'm sure Leeds will want to be coming out of defence with a bit more purpose. And
yeah, I think Adams is doing a lot for Loughborough in the centre there. She's getting back and defending early, so that quick ball out that we like to utilise is actually not happening. That goal actually paid us dividends. We're now equal, where we're getting on top of this game. Balls like that we can't sacrifice. We've really got to keep this ball flat and hard, just like that. Look how easy that is, Matt. Where'd you go from there? And when we split them defenders, we take them wide. We keep, we don't keep narrow. I think it really pays us in the end. And
just moving the ball a bit quickly pays dividends as well, doesn't it,
yeah.
Tracy?
And that's good. The Leeds defence then made Katie throw back. We want to try and force as much error as can. And the only way you can do that is to make them have obviously more passes, not letting that ball get easily into the circle. And that's a great shot by Jo Harton. She's sat on the top. Afrika's got to do a little bit more, probably, to force her. a little bit more. But she, like you say, Africa's got a really tough job today against one of England's #1 shooters.
What do you see as being the sort of #1 sort of matchups in this game? As you mentioned, that one there between Africa and her opposite number. Where else is this game going to be won and lost on the field?
I actually think the centre court, you've got Danny Bluefield against Katie Rose, teammates in the England under-21 team. I think that'll be a really, really good competition. I actually think today, which we're seeing at the moment, it's a really attacking game because that's what one of Olivia's strengths is. She was a great attacking player in her time, and obviously Anna's the same. So we really want to drive that ball down fast.
Looks like we've just got an injury here. The players get to have a timeout in essence here, do they? Yeah,
I think she actually went up and landed funny. She actually doesn't look in a good shape, actually, does she? She, she's really struggling, and it looks like they're actually having to make a substitute. It's interesting that they've got actually... It looks like Nia Campbell-Watson is coming on for Loughborough in the wing defence position. It's really strange, Mark. They've actually got an England under-21 international sat on the bench who, appears, in the starting 7 for Loughborough Lightning. So, can you imagine having an England under-21 on your bench? That's the sort of depth that, Liv is doing at Loughborough University, and it's great that. And like we've got a Super League, players sat on our bench as well, and that's great. And these have all been England players, through the youth system. So England netball now, you see the sort of youth that's coming through.
And this really is the top of the table encounter, as we've already said before. The winner of this game will win the league. But these two universities really are at the forefront of university netball, would you say?
Yeah, I think Loughborough have been at the forefront for a long time in many sports. Now Leeds Met are starting to get a name for themselves, with the talent that we're coming through, and hopefully today we can win it. Last year we won on home soil, and I think we are stronger on home soil. But like we've just seen then, Danny's just saying to her players, we've got to push them up. We can't let ball like that in. Africa can't mark 3 players, and they've got to get on top of that. But Fran is dropping beautifully into the corner, spacing it out. We just need Joe and that was a great shot and great finish. We really needed that, with the score now being 9-8. That's Alex Kirk through the middle to Katie Rose. We've just had a shout from the coach to hold them up. Look at what they're doing. They can't get the ball through when we're getting them, behind them and forcing them through. That was a little bit too easy. And obviously Alex is going to finish them shots off. That's a great position for the shooter to get the ball in.
Just talking about the strength that you mentioned on each of the benches.
Mark, how can you say that? That was an absolute phenomenal drive by Woki into the circle. That is a shooter's dream. You've got no defence. You change your position and you get the ball under the post. That's another phenomenal ball by Alex Kirk. Joe running baseline. I think the most influential part for a shooter is when she's driving that base, driving into the circle, controlling the defenders. They're not actually reacting to what the defenders are doing. They're being proactive and they're getting out there and trying to change this defence around. That's a great finish.
Leeds Met just going into the lead there, Tracy, now winning 12-11. Do you think this game will really go point for point right to the end? Or?
I really do. I really do think it is. Normally now with Super League games, teams don't tend to take control until the 3rd quarter. And Loughborough had a great start on us, but we took a little bit of time to get going. That could have been for the delay in play and stuff like that. But we've really got to stop that ball getting down to them shooters and really maximise every chance that we get on our centre passes as well. Look, like shooter-to-shooter balls like that, the Loughborough, that's where we've got to maximise, against the Loughborough defence. The strong players, Kate Bradshaw's strong player, Nicola Corn, and they played together quite a bit. However, we look at the shooters, the experience we've got in there. We've got, an ex-ANZ player in Carla Dewocki, and obviously we've got a Super League player in Joe Walker as well. So they've really got to punish that, and I think it is a shooting game today. These shooters are not missing. We've seen one missed shot in the whole game. That's great. That was a great punishment by Fran. What she was doing then is moving behind the line, trying to get that defence to commit offside so that we can get the easy ball in. That was a great take by Natalie Carnegie.
That was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great athleticism there.
Yeah, Nat is really, really fast, and you know she never wants to give up. That just shows the competitive edge, and that actually, you know, took us 1 point in the lead. That's a great force. You know, Alex Kirk, Laura Gregory's really got to start pushing Alex Kirk out wide, away from the ball.
And interception there.
Yeah, excellent interception by Danielle Bloomfield. What she did is delayed, you know, put them under a false pretense, then come in late for the ball. I think Campbell's come on well. I think she's put Fran Marshall under a lot of pressure. And that is hardest for a player, you know, when you've been sat on the bench a lot and then you come on. It's hard because you don't know what your player is, you know, it's unpredictable. That was great. She split the defence there. That was good. That was a good one too by Jo Walker.
Just missed with that shot though there.
Yeah. We really need us to come in strong for a rebound and really start pushing. We really need, in this quarter, you know, it's all about keeping with Loughborough. Don't want them to get ahead and try and minimise the amount of goals we've got. Look, Danielle Bloomfield again, excellently, you know, putting the attack under a false sense of security. Katie Rose went one way, ball went another for her to come in for the intercept.
Both sides really working hard to try and put pressure on their opponents, and there's been a few interceptions in this game so far from both teams. So
yeah, you can see what they've obviously been working on. Obviously, like we just said, the strengths of both teams are the attack, and we seem to be taking a lot of ball through this centre third, which, you know, the coaches will look to use at quarter time. You know, that's about the amount of pressure that the shooters are putting on. You know, just because you've got defensive bib on, you know, every single player is a defensive player, so it's excellent.
So we're coming to the end of this first quarter here. Leeds Met just in the lead by a point still. Do you think they'll be pleased by their start here?
Yeah, definitely. Now that could have been, you know, 2 goals up going into the second quarter, which would have, you know, really helped us then. That was probably not the choice of pass that Fran wanted to make, and she probably didn't. She could have waited as well. She had the patience to do that.
And that's the quarter time whistle blown there.
Yeah, with the score 15-14, that was a really good quarter by both teams.
So Anna's going to get her team in, and we're just listening to what she's got to say.
Triangles into the circle, and I think sometimes you can actually drop back rather than playing across, because sometimes they're lining out and you're trying to run behind that line instead of sometimes just drawing them in and then dropping back. I think that would actually work quite well for us because the keeper's into you. She's not looking for flyers. So I think that just make that drop. Now, it just takes, the centre's quite quick. She can match you for speed. And sometimes I think you're forgetting that. You're not taking extra steps onto the ball. So make sure you drive all the way. And you've started running circles instead of going somewhere. So if you make an offering you not use, clear out and go somewhere, even if it's deep, to draw that 3 line, to draw that 3 line for Fran then to come through. Okay, the actual holds are working well when we get it to the edge, and if we put a holding ball into you, that actually works quite well for us as well. But you know, attacking wise, I thought that went well. I think when you're moving on a centre pass to come out, I think that splits them. You know, I think it's all good. I think you can get tighter on it. They're passing inaccurate passes, which is good because that's continuous pressure. But as soon as she's give the ball, I want you stepping up to her and making it harder for her. All right. Same with you, stepping up to them and not letting them come to circle edge all the time. On them. Afi, stay in front of her. All right. Hold her up. If the goal attack Alex has got the ball, that's the only time I want you dropping off. I don't want to see you dropping off any other time. If Alex has the ball on the top of the D, you drop back. Other than that, you're on it and you're on it and you're on it. Okay. Danny and Laura, sometimes when you're offering to each other off the baseline, you're overrunning the ball like we talked about last night. So there ends up being a person from Loughborough who can come for the ball between you two. The one who hasn't got the ball needs to be further back to actually run into it rather than standing a static square. Girls, a couple of times we've got caught on a cross-court ball, passing it square, instead of the person dropping back, like we did last night, to come forward for the back ball, rather than just stood static and coming forward for a square ball. I'd rather it go back and then reset it. Does that make sense? Okay, you're a bit hesitant on your back lines. If Afi turns over the ball, you're kind of jogging it. I want it to be a bit more faster and a bit more sure that you want the ball. All right, and marker tight all the time. All right, it's a game thing, just like we played them at Super League. Danny, Manda, to the point where in the fourth quarter she was making errors. So make sure you put that pressure on right the way through the quarter. All right, she has the ball, you're in her face, she gives it away, you're holding her up all the time, you're just on it. Okay, more communication, Afi. All right, you know she's going to do no-look passes, Talix. You know all this. Let's make sure we're ready for it, yeah?
Tracy, what do you think they'll be trying to do in the second quarter?
I think, like we said, I think Livy will have probably told them Loughborough, at the really key area where we're really beating them and taking a lot of ball off is on this 2/3 line. And the shooters are really splitting that defence, so they'll be looking probably to force our shooters up the court. Where they've took ball off as Loughborough is basically they've forced our wing attack under pressure to force the ball in or to get them on 1 foot, so they're going off balance. So I think that's the sort of pressure. Like if you look out there, Watson's come on and completely, put instant pressure on Fran, which, for a wing attack that's pretty difficult, when you've got a wing defence running hard on you at the moment. I think Anna will have told, Leeds, we've got to be patient with our ball. We've got to get on 2 feet, really drive down. And I think she was telling the wing attack that she could drop more into that corner to really, benefit, that long ball into the corner so that Nat Panagari can get onto the top of the circle. Yeah. If you noticed then, there was a lot more pressure up, and that was a great shot by Jo Walker. That was really, really crucial. That's took us now 2 goals in the lead. And we just need to take this off. The pressure we need to put on this 2/3 line through there and make them throw that up ball. This is the ball we want off them now. Stop Joe Harton getting in, stop that switch between the shooters as they come through.
Great switch of play there.
Yeah, and if you look at Loughborough, the centre court, look how wide they are. That's great defending by Leeds. We want to force them wide, and look, we took Nat Panagari. The best beneficial attacking place is if, you've got a centre court at the top and one in the corner, and they keep moving. They were unable to do that, which, was in our benefit.
And Leeds captain Danielle Bloomfield just starting to dominate that area a little bit. She's had some key interventions so far. Yeah,
I think Danielle's got a lot to prove today. She went for open selection at weekend and was unsuccessful in a selection, and now she's playing against Katie Rose, who a really good player who was successful. So I think that Danny's very competitive and would be looking to make a mark on this game. That was lucky by Leeds Carnegie. Woki, that's the second pass that Woki's thrown away, and she really needs to get on top of that. I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding between Woki and Panagari, which they need to sort out really, because the last 2 balls that have gone through have gone, out of court.
And as you mentioned, Woki's come over from New Zealand this year. How is she bedding in with the squad? Obviously, must be quite a change from the championship over there.
Yeah, excellent. And did you see that great interception by Afrika? Like I say, they're pushing them corner. Yeah, Woki's doing really well. She's really adding a lot to our team, not just to the shooters. She's taking on a lot of shooting sessions. She's doing a lot with our Leeds Carnegie youth, and she's also doing a lot with the centre court. So, because of her experience and her knowledge, she's bringing a lot of that to the game, and that's something that a lot of these foreign players don't add to the team. But that was a great one too. Then shoot a ball.
Great sleight of hand there, just to drop it into the other player.
Yeah, and that's like put us 4 goals ahead. And we really need to start capitalising on this and keep our head. We seem to be going through patches like that. Like Laura Greggy, that was really great. That was another great take by Nat Panagari. We can't have Nat Panagari, doing a lot of that whole game. She's centre. Adams is giving her really good pressure on her. So we need to start giving her a ball that, is not putting her under a lot of pressure, that she's able to take easily and not keep running her up and down the game.
And Leeds have really come out all guns blazing in this second quarter, now taking a 5-point lead in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, Loughborough, they seem to have lost a lot of their form. I think that was the pressure we put them on in the early stages. But if you actually look now, you know, they've created a bit of a circle for us. Nat is actually running Adams around a little bit, and she's the other defence is doing really well for Loughborough, but Adams really needs to get a handle on Nat Panagari at the moment, because she's actually, you know, creating the space and making the moves, which is breaking down the Loughborough defence. If you look at the patience that Loughborough just showed then, you know, Jo Harton just thinking that, and that's what we have got to be worried about. You know, we can't let our guard down. We've really got to start pushing the ball up and not letting Alex Kirk and Jo Harton settling into the game. Because as soon as you get this ball to Jo Harton, you know, it's 9 times out of 10 going in the ring.
Like a bit of travelling there, was it? Is that what it's called, Tracy?
Yeah, that was a bit of contact by our defenders, which, you know, that was a great call by Jenny Skelton, one of the umpires. Like we say, we can't give Loughborough free shots. So, you know, that was probably an unfortunate error by Africa that she probably didn't want to give. That's like ball placement, Matt. You know, Jo's running round, the defender's in front of her, and that's where you just need, you know, your centre on the top just to relieve a little bit of pressure off you, you know, so you could play the ball in a triangle formation and into a better shooting opportunity where Waukee was, which was nearer to the post.
The scoreboard's still ticking over though. Leeds Met have still got a 4-point advantage, but I really think this quarter could be crucial in terms of the outcome of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Normally the game's taken in the third quarter, but, you know, Loughborough had a really bad start, where in the first quarter they had a really good start, and they've got a lot of groundwork now. They've just pulled back 2 goals on us, and we really need to maximise this, which I have no doubt Jo Walker will do, and that's patience. We just need now just to steal another one off them, because for every one we get, Mark, they've got to get 2 back, obviously, to take the lead, and it's almost better having that little bit of, you know, as you say, cushion pad netball, just to give you a bit of, just to help you through the game and stuff like that. It's really weird that this combination actually played for the Loughborough Lightning Super League team, and it's quite influential what our defence are doing to them. We're really pushing Jo Hatton really deep to that baseline or out of the top of the circle. That's unlike Jo Hatton, really. You know, she never normally struggles to get ball, so our defence are doing quite well on that. That was a great interception by Nicola Corn. Obviously been pulled for obstruction, but it's great to see a defender, you know, not just putting an arm over the shot. She's really going to intercept it as well.
More pressure on by the Leeds, forcing another turnover there.
I know. Yeah, you know, we kept the centre court quite flat on the centre pass, which, you know, Alex Kirk had no one to throw to. Which almost benefits Leeds, but I'm sure Olivia Murphy will not be happy with that. You know, her game was almost to drive down to the edge of the circle, you know, create a bit of space, run, you know, them diagonal runs, and that's something that Katie Rose isn't offering them at the moment. I'm just worried that Katie Rose is a really good shooter as well, and they obviously have an under-21 on the bench as well, who, you know, could also impact on this game. However, I think she has been suffering a little bit of injury as well. That was a great take by Adams. She's having a tough game today, and, you know, she seems to be coming out strong. Obviously, she's a second-year student, and at Essex, she's not really playing Super League either, from the information that we've received. So, you know, to be playing against a Super League player and taking intercepts like that is, you know, is actually really, really great for Olivia Murphy to have strong players like that. You know, good girls who work hard, who don't always have to be playing at the top medal, but offer something to the game as well.
Just talk us through a point on the game there. The ball was touched by the hand and then it bounced, but she was unable to regain possession. Is that a repossession? Is that a rule still in netball?
Yeah, if the umpire deems that she's, you know, caught the ball, dropped it, and then picked it back up, it is obviously repossession, which she did. Or if they feel that sometimes that happens and you think, oh, it was repossession. However, they probably the umpires deemed that the girl didn't actually have possession of it. It was more, she's gone and it's just been a tap on or something like that. So we could really do working this ball forward. Loughborough are really doing well at forcing us back to our defensive players. That's where Danny at Bloomfield is really, really strong. Her attack down court is phenomenal, and she's really, really ball hungry, and that's took us 6 points ahead of Loughborough. And this quarter has been really, really crucial for Leeds Met in cementing our place. And I think the injury of Rebecca in the wing defence position for Loughborough has really paid dividends. Although Watson's been putting a lot of pressure on Fran, I think we seem to be getting our ball through our centre court a little bit more freely. That was probably a mistake that Laura Gregory didn't want to make. Like you say, you don't give a #1 shooter a free shot. She's obviously going to put it through the ring. That's brought us now back to 5 in it at 25-20.
Halfway through the quarter, Leeds Met will be really disappointed if Loughborough are able to bring it back level on half-time. So they really want to try and extend this lead, do you think, Tracy?
Yeah, definitely. If we could keep the deficit on now, it'll really help Loughborough. We just need Woki to sink this, which I'm sure she will. I've got every confidence in her, and it was excellent. Woki doesn't normally play at goal attack. She's normally a goal shooter, but what she's doing is she's adding a lot of patience through the attacking end.
And just a fantastic interception from her there.
Yeah, talking about the girl herself, a famous intercept. And them are the intercepts you want, It's not often, as being a goal attack myself, I was never much of a defensive player coming out with ball. I always thought I put the pressure on for everyone else, but probably people won't think that.
She's got her rewards there.
Exactly. She takes the intercept and she scores the goal. That's the amount of work that she's, adding to Leeds Met, and she's actually currently having a really good game. I don't want to bring back and that was a great pull back by Jo Walker under the post. She saw that Fran, the keeper, had gone to take the ball off Fran, and she just come back and got the ball under the post. And that actually takes us 8 points clear. And how great is that when you're seeing, the pressure our defence is putting on. You've got Jo Hatton, and she's got no one to throw it to, and ends up, throwing it out of court. That was a great long ball by Danny Bloomfield to Gregory into the middle, deep into the corner, and to Jo Walker at the edge. That's a great shot by Jo Walker, great finish. This is actually a beneficial game for us today, Mark, because if we should actually take Loughborough today, with the amount of goals that we have scored against them as well, this could actually put us top of the league on goal difference. So, that'll be much better going into the playoffs next week. Much better standing against the teams we're against. And I actually think, Mark, we're guaranteed a home game as well. And as we've proven through the fixtures this season, we're far more stronger on the home soil.
That's been the case for the Super League side as well. It's been a mixed start to the season for the Super League girls. A great result against Loughborough on the opening day of the season, but they really got taken to task away to Surrey last time out.
Yeah, and to Celtic Dragons. We've had a really, really tough January. The weather has not helped a lot. A lot of training has been cancelled, and a lot of our girls have to travel far. So obviously, duty of care to the girls, they've not been able to get into training. They've not seen much of each other. And like you say, if you don't train, you don't play. And it's not about just the running. It's about the communication with the girls, the contact time with the girls, and that's really affected a team like us. That was a great shot, Jo Hatton. That's what Jo Hatton's really, really strong for. Like putting them balls in the edge of the circle. What I feel Loughborough need to do, which Olivia Murphy is seeing, that ball can actually go in earlier to Jo Hatton. If you actually look at her position in the circle, I'm sure if Olivia Murphy was playing there herself, she's screaming at the girls to actually get that ball into Jo Hatton. If you actually look at her height, her arm length, she's holding the space well. And I think they need to look to the circle early. I think they're really playing narrow. And obviously Jo Hatton's basketball background just aided that jump shot there.
With a couple of minutes to go in the quarter, Leeds Met still leading 29-24. Been a bit of a comeback on from Loughborough, but Leeds Met still must be pleased with this lead that they've got.
Yeah, we could have really done with that shot by Woki there. Now, I'm sure she'll be upset about that. That would have took us nearly 5 or 6 goals up. If Loughborough score now, you know, we're going back. You know, we've only won this quarter by 4 goals, although that's beneficial. You know, going into it, we were 8 goals up at one time. And Alex Kirk, like I say, she's rarely going to miss as well. We really need to pressure this down and steal this centre pass back off them. Force them to the edge of the circle. But like I say, Jo Harton, she ain't going to miss them from the edge of the circle. Just looks so easy for her, Mark. And Nat Panigari's centre pass, we could do really crucial benefit from this. Really need, you know, Woki to get in that circle and get that ball. And this ball, we really need to seal away. Come on, Woki, that's 2 shots on the run. Oh, that was a great rebound by Jo Walker to Woki. Oh, come on, Woki, that's your 3rd. It's really hard for a shooter when, you know, they've missed 2 or 3 shots on the run to get their eye back in, but I'm sure Woki now, you know, she'll be slapping herself. And that shot was really crucial in, you know, cementing the 4-goal lead going into the quarter. But Alex Kirk returns the favour by sinking the goal. We really need to think about this. There's probably only short time left. We need to get this ball down to the circle so we don't lose the benefit of our centre pass. Maybe not needed at this time in the game. However, there we go again. Woki, great intercept by her. She knew she made a mistake by throwing that ball away, and she goes back and wins the ball back, and we get the goal in. This is a great quarter for Leeds Met. We've actually won the quarter by 3 goals at 31-27, and we're going for that. And we're now going into the half-time break.
I'm back here with Stephanie Wilson. Stephanie, Leeds Met have taken a small lead into that game there, into half-time. How do you see the game's gone so far?
It's gone really well, yeah. For both teams are really pushing on now. Hopefully we can, you know, capitalise on what we've been doing and definitely come out with the win. Fingers crossed, yeah.
It was quite a strong start by Loughborough, but Leeds Met really came out in the second quarter with all guns blazing, and at one point had an 8-point lead, pegged back a bit to the half-time score of 31-27. But as you said, they still must be pleased with that first half performance. What do you think they'll be looking to do in the second half to try and grind out this victory?
Oh yeah, we really will be pleased with the first half. I think mostly probably keeping it the same, to keep pushing it on, maybe not like drop back, don't let them get any more goals on us. Just really working hard in defence, like to make sure, because they've got a very strong centre court and attack, so let's making sure that we keep them out of the game completely.
And Stephanie, we mentioned earlier that you're currently out with an injury. You've got some ligament damage.
Yes.
How long is it till you'll be back training and playing again?
Well, at the moment I'm back training, just like light training, fingers crossed. Maybe I'll be back soon, maybe another week, 2. I should be back playing hopefully, but at the moment it's been 10 weeks that I've been injured, so I'm really hoping to be back soon.
In commentary, I was speaking with Tracy about the Super League season as well. It's been a mixed start for Leeds Carnegie in that. What do you think the girls will be trying to do for the rest of the games in 2010 to try and push on from that quite mixed start they've had?
They'll be just trying to play like we've always played, like last season. This season we've played really well. We wanted to get back into the top 4 places again, definitely not into the playoffs. And we definitely think we can do it. Definitely, yeah.
And what's it been like for you playing at that Super League level? Have you found that really beneficial to your game? And what's your sort of ambitions and expectations for your own personal game in the next year or 2?
I've improved so much just training Super League. My ambitions are, you know, to make it England, obviously, to make it as high as I can in my netball, to stay at Leeds and the Super League squad for as long as I can as well, and just hoping that my game improves all the time.
Well, Stephanie, thanks very much for your time this afternoon. Good luck with the injury, and we're going to return to Tracy now for the second half action. So thanks, Stephanie.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for that. Looks like there's been no changes to the Leeds Carnegie Super League booster team. But however, the looks that Olivia Murphy has made some changes. It looks like Sullivan has actually come off the bench, who we were talking about before, who's an England under-21 player, has come onto the centre position. I'm actually trying to make out now what other changes they've made. They've actually brought on a tall goalkeeper, who, you know, that's where one of the main problems where we're actually capitalising. Leeds are capitalising on them now. We'll actually see what's actually happening through the game. Bradshaw's gone to wing defence, Corner's gone to goal defence, and Shamrod's now gone to goalkeeper. So they have made a lot of changes, which, you know, you would have expected that from Olivia Murphy. You know, they've just lost that quarter by 3 goals, taking them 31-27 into the start of the second quarter, into the third quarter. I think Loughborough now will be looking to really put pressure on us. One of the shooters at the moment have got control of the Loughborough defence, and I'm sure that's what they've brought Sullivan on, you know, to do that, to stop that. What Adams was doing, like we said, she was having real trouble with Panagari in the middle. We're just hoping that Panagari, you know, can still be as beneficial. But Sullivan's there to have the control and, you know, through the court as well. There we go. Leeds Carnegie gave first centre pass. That's what the pressure what Olivia Murphy actually wants to put on Leeds Carnegie. You know, they couldn't get out for centre pass. And look, the ball is actually now, if you look, moving faster. But that was a great steal by Afrika. That's what Afrika's good at, you know, when the ball's moving fast. She's unpredictable, you know, she's working on, you know, slow time, and she just times that intercept beautifully and then comfort it on the third line. And that's where we need Afrika, you know, to pull out a few of them at the moment. And that was a great finish by Jo. That takes us 5 goals in the lead, you know, and we really need to pull this one back, you know. We lost. That was an excellent interception by Laura Gregory. That's the sort of misunderstanding we need our defence to put on the players. And that's great by Nat Panagari on the top of the circle.
Leeds Met really starting this third quarter strongly again, Tracy, and just a miss there.
That was a crucial shot for us, really. You know, you're not going to take much ball off Loughborough, and they've got great ball handling, and we just really needed that. Look at that. Oh, Sullivan gives them that drive and that control. You know, that was an excellent one. What she's doing is Jo is actually pulling out of it, and then Afrika's actually coming in late for the ball. But like again, O'Sullivan, you know, she's winning the ball back. That's what Olivia Murphy wants O'Sullivan to do. You know, she's there, you know, to add that bit to the game, to add that bit of defensive play and to take some intercepts off them. What Loughborough are really struggling, Afrika's marking Jo Hatton really well. Jo Hatton's trying to do some turns, and Afrika's not giving her anything. That was a great shot by Alex Kirk. I'm sure Jo Hatton will be happy about that. She's having a little bit of a hard time there in the circle by Afrika Morris. That was a great take. We really need to start sealing them in, you know. We can't have the defence coming in late. You know, the shooter had a good positioning. Nat just needs to do a little bit more footwork and drive that ball into the circle.
Leeds Met just needed to be a bit more clinical in their shooting here, but a good opportunity. And now they go to
5 goals up again, Mark, which you know, we're taking us back. We need to just keep taking it 1 goal. It's like climbing the stairs. You know, you do 1 step at a time. You can't think about the end result at the moment. You know, if anyone had asked me before this game, Mark, you know, what would be the score, what would be the prediction, would we be happy to take this now? And a lot of these players would have said yeah, because if you looked at the last result, we were 9 down. You know, they've got, you know, all their England. They've got in England set up in their starting in their first 4 players, and you know, but they just don't seem to be getting it together. What we've also got to bear in mind as well, Mark, is, you know, these girls have been on a tough England weekend. These are in tough training programmes all the way through the year, and it's tough on them. You know, the travelling, the playing. You know, a lot is asked out of these girls these days, and it's not just about turning out and playing anymore. Which you can actually see now.
What does it mean for these Leeds Met girls to beat a team like Loughborough, though, as you said, long established as one of the top sporting institutions in the country?
Oh, it was awesome. Like last year was, I think, the first time that Leeds Met University have ever actually beaten Loughborough Lightning, and you know, it was exceptional. It was on home soil, but obviously they took one off, and we seem to be on this 50-50 share at the moment. It'd be great if you could have a Loughborough Leeds final, you know, especially with all the work that, you know, the universities are doing at the moment. And you know, it's nice. It would be nice to have that. I think we complement each other's game in a way. You know, we're an attacking team, and you know, I think that's really, really good. And it's good to see some of these players out on the court as well.
After the weekend as well, when Leeds Met beat Loughborough in the Carnegie Challenge Cup in Rugby League, it'll be good to get two wins over them in a week as well. So a great win for the boys there. Yeah,
and we actually beat Loughborough before Christmas in the Super League as well. So that would be good. You know, you almost like to be one above. Like again, Afrika is just playing Joe Hatton off the court. Joe Hatton really needs to start getting ball side when she's taking the ball, and I'm sure that's what Olivia was telling her before when she actually got up there. You know, Afrika's main strength is to take them, you know, long, wide intercepts, and you know, Joe Hatton is actually playing into her hands at the moment, which for us is beneficial, but I'm sure Olivia Murphy is not going to be happy with us at the moment.
Just her body language there as well. Afrika's really starting to dominate that area of court.
And that's a sign of a really good defender. You know, if you can get into your shooter's head, put a little bit of you know, influential pressure on her. I would never actually rule Jo Hatton out. However, she's an exceptional player, and you know, she could turn this game around. So I hope Afrika can maintain this sort of pressure throughout the game as she does that. That really could have done that with that shot by Woki. I'm sure she'll be mad again about that. That was a great run by O'Sullivan onto the edge of the circle. And Danny did a little... She's been pulled for offside there, which is unfortunate. What she was trying to do there, Mark, is really beat the offside by running around Katie Rose, trying to get around her. And she's athletic enough to do that. It's really good to see your wing defence is trying to do that, not just trying to stop on the edge of the circle and trap the wing attack. They're really trying to go for ball and nothing before it. That was a great run by Danny. We just need the support. Well dodged by Fran Marshall, and a great ball into Jo Walker, who definitely is going to put that away. Go 9 goals up now, Mark. You know, we've actually took 5 goals off them in this quarter. So O'Sullivan at the moment, although she made a difference at the start of the quarter, they're really struggling to get the ball into the shooters. And that's great work by Laura Gregory and Afrika. That was a good shot by Alex Kirk. They'll be happy about that, Loughborough, but we really need to start, you know, not giving any penalties away and really start putting the pressure on. That ball, that was good bounce pass into circle by Panagari, and a great shooter ball by Woki.
Great disguise on the ball.
Yeah. That's good to see shooters doing that. You know, we call that, you know, you're playing with your defender, you're teasing them in a way. You know, you're really trying to challenge them, you know, by not just taking the shot every time, you know, really trying to make them work harder, because it does pay dividends to you towards the end of the game as well. So Afrika has finally been pulled up on the edge of the circle. What they're doing now is they're trying to create a screen as the shooters, you know, trying to split that defender. And she's been pulled for footwork. Alex Kirk will be gutted about that.
And they've given the ball straight back to Loughborough again, though.
That wasn't a very good decision by Laura Gregory. She needed to be patient. There was no need for her to throw that ball into Sullivan's hands. I'm sure Sullivan were very happy to receive it. What is really interesting in the game so far is Alex Kirk is doing a lot of the, you know, a lot of the work in the circle and a lot of the shots. Which, if we'd have said that at the start of the game, you know, Jo Hatton was probably one of the key players to watch. But obviously, you know, we're doing a really good job at keeping her busy and out of the way. We could do with this now, and this would take us again 9 goals into the lead. And if Leeds can get this back, you know, we're 9 goals up. So O'Sullivan to Bradshaw, back to O'Sullivan. To Alex Kirk through the middle. To Sullivan. That's good. Look at Sullivan. Sullivan's just playing this game on her own at the moment, and really getting in good positions. I think Katie Rose could probably do a little bit more help in helping her bring that ball through the court as well. Our wing attack as well. Bradshaw's not actually as quick as Fran Marshall in the game, so Fran is doing an excellent job, you know, really changing direction on Bradshaw, and Bradshaw's really struggling to counteract that movement.
That goal sees Leeds Met reach the 40-point mark though, and now a 9-point lead established again with only 6 minutes of the quarter left.
When you look at the quarter-time scores, Mark, first quarter was 15-14 to Leeds, second quarter 16-13. You know, we seem to be getting, you know, similar amounts of attempts. You always say to win a game you need about 18 goals per quarter, 18 attempts per quarter. Looking at like an 80% shooting average, which a lot of these shooters will have here today. So we're looking on probably taking the goals. So the team who can take 60 goals is the team, I think, Mark, who are going to win this game today. And the way Leeds are actually performing, that was a great roll dodge by Joe Walker under the post. I actually think, oh, she'll be absolutely mortified that she couldn't finish that off. That was probably one of Joe Walker's best moves as well. And that's probably more pressure, Mark, than anything else.
And she's hardly missed one all day.
I know, she's hardly missed all game. And that is the pressure that you do a great move and you've just got to suck it in and, you know, get the shot, put the shot away. So there's 5 minutes left of this quarter. You know, we've really got a head start on this 8 goals ahead, but this could take us down. And Alex Kirk, she isn't missing at the moment. It must be the Yorkshire influence, Mark.
How did you find it yourself as a Mancunian playing it over in Yorkshire, Tracy? It must have been quite a trip for you over the Pennines.
I think it was more the Neville name more than the actual where I was actually from. It's not really recognised here in Leeds, is it? Or congratulated, as they say.
Well, obviously after recent results in the FA Cup as well, Leeds getting one over on Man United.
I think we should go back to the netball now, Mark. Yeah. That was good. That was good. I actually think what Jo Harton is missing on that edge of that circle is that support. You know, she's getting the ball quickly and she hasn't got that feed, so she likes to play the 1-2s, Jo Harton, and she hasn't got that. She's waiting for a centre court to come down. I think that's because O'Sullivan and Rose are really putting a lot of defensive pressure, so it's actually taking them out of the court play. That was a great run by Wacky under the post and great finish. If we actually look at the score now, you know, with 7 goals ahead, we could really do with taking this off them. I'm quite surprised that O'Sullivan didn't start, and it'd be interesting to ask why that was. I think O'Sullivan from the start of the game could have really been key for our players because she's so quick. And obviously you only take games by the end. You know, she'll look to run that Panagari out as well.
She's not stopped running since she's come on the court, has she?
Exactly. She's really, really helping out her teammates defensively and attacking there.
Seems to be going point for point at the moment there with Leeds Met. Another chance, and they've just missed there. But
yeah, definitely. That was unfortunate by Wacky. She really went for the rebound. I think it is going. I think Loughborough coming back into this game now. Little mistakes like that, you know. That was that was crucial intercept by Panagari. And a great drop back by Joe Walker from Fran Marshall. So Loughborough centre pass. They were lucky to get that back now. We really need to start putting pressure on again. That was excellent double team defending by Danny Bloomfield and Fran Marshall. What the centre court are not doing for Loughborough, which I'm really, really shocked at, is they're really playing quite separate from each other, where centre court, they play together, you know, they drive the circle together, they work the circle edge together. You know, they're the ones that really, really put in. And Adams is warming up again on the sideline. I actually think that they could be bringing her back on. I actually think the key point here is Bradshaw. I don't actually think that she's helping Sullivan on that defensive line. She's going really with the first time ball and really overcommitting, and that is really, you know, not helping the defenders in the circle. That ball by Sullivan, you know, great idea. I really think that she just needs to put a little bit of air on it. if you actually look at Jo Hatton's hand, you know, arms, how long they are, she's great in the air as well as on the ground. And I don't really think they're playing maximally to her strengths. Whether that's because Jo Hatton doesn't really play in the team that much, we don't actually know what her contribution has been actually in the books this year. So there could be a little bit of misunderstanding.
Great play there by Afrika Morris, just using her real physical nature to the game just to win possession back for Leeds Met.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great... Jo Hatton tried to fake Afrika, but Afrika's not normally sold by a fake. She doesn't normally move on the first time move, Afrika, as we know from coaching her. And it actually played her well. That was a great ball by... I actually think that Panagari actually is having probably one of the best games of her life against Loughborough. This is probably the best I've seen her play defensively and attacking through the game.
Just less than a minute to go until we reach the break for the quarter. What will Anna be saying to the players as she gets them in at this break?
I think it's just about maintaining, you know. It's about keeping the tempo up. What Leeds Met have really been doing is they've been keeping a really even tempo, you know, been driving the ball down. And what they don't want to do now is go defensively and think, oh no, we don't have to really drive the ball down, we'll just maintain, you know, the scoreline defensively. And that's what hurts a lot of teams, you know, when you think on that side. That was a great quarter again by Leeds Carnegie. We're now 45-27 up and taking up. So
45-36, I think that the scoreboards say now. But as you said, a 9-point lead restored there. Anna's going to be very pleased. Let's go over and hear what she's got to say.
We need to keep that going, all right, because that just switches the defence and opens everything up. So the more you two swing that ball and wait for the right opening, it's great. And I think you're really starting to read what pace the ball beats their defenders, so that's good. Good confidence between the two of you two in that circle. You know, it's really good, the 1-2s, the support. I just want to see more of it, you know, keep the consistency going right the way through. Laura and Danny, sometimes you get caught sleeping because I know you've worked really, really hard defensively and you're making the turnovers and you've got to put it in then in attack. You can't then kind of think, oh, the attack will do the job, because they need that support play. Probably when you don't think they need it, that's when they probably do need it. So be there all the time. That man-to-man, they're going to change it because you've worked that hard. So they're going to probably put another goal attack on now, do the same job. Tight man on, because Jo doesn't like it when she has all the circle like that, all right, because she doesn't like having a tight one-on-one. All right, so same again, tight. I think when you go for every ball, you're absolutely amazing. All right, I want this quarter. This is your game. You remember how you felt last time when you lost to Loughborough? Yeah, you felt it here. Don't let it happen today. All right, every ball,
do you know
make
what,
sure.
when you do something good, it makes everyone do something good.
Excellent game, Natalie. Best I've seen you play it in attack and in defence. Keep it going. All right, you're running the legs here. Another 15 minutes and then you're done. It does, Danny. It makes a difference. Remember what we said as well, whoever gets it corner, they look top, so the other defender needs to slip back so they can't play that triangle, yeah? So if your player's got it in that corner, you come round, and if Natalie's on that side, and trap them, yeah? Yeah, that's fine. Have a wheel, no, tight. Right, walked into goal, she can't go in the circle. Defender, goal shooter will be told to dodge you. So keep your eye on it, keep your eye on it. Right, girls, this is your game now. Okay, there's only you who can lose this. Basics, centre passes, any turnovers to goal. All right, it's your game. Guys, go.
Really enjoyed
Leeds Met Carnegie League 45-36. Loughborough made quite a few changes in this quarter, with bringing Lucy Adams back onto centre, moving Alex Kirk to goal attack, Jo Hatton coming out to goal attack, and Nia Rawlins playing goal shooter. I think what they'll be looking to do here is really looking for the height in the circle. And I think actually Jo Hatton, that was probably one of the best positions by Olivia Murphy. What they were struggling to do is actually find Jo Hatton through the game. But Loughborough just don't seem to get it together today. They don't seem to be passing to each other well. And And them little touches on the ball, you know, the little finishes, which I'm not actually seeing Loughborough play like this before. And that can only be put down to Leeds Met, you know, putting that sort of pressure on as well.
Just a nasty fall by the Loughborough centre there.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate decision by Chris Wilson-Smith, the umpire. She said that Nat Panagari had contacted as she was coming through, which maybe she did, which is why probably Adams ended up on the floor. But we really didn't need this.
She's missed the chance of goal there.
Yeah.
Has a second chance.
Yeah, your first shot for a shooter, Nia Rawlins, at Welsh International actually. Your first shot's the crucial one for a shooter, so hopefully, you know, she won't lose confidence in that and perk up, although for Leeds Met's benefit, we hope she does. That's Danielle to Laura Gregory, to Fran. That was a good pass. Look at the pressure that Loughborough are putting on now, you know. They know that they really need to start eating back at these goals. But, you know, like Woki's been doing, you know, she's finishing them goals off well and really pushing it in there. Panagari to Woki. It's interesting, you know, Jo's long arm, she can do so much defensively up the court, which she'll be looking to do. And we're looking at a 9-goal lead here. So we're still really maintaining our performance.
Just looks like Kirk's pulled up there with an injury, maybe a hand injury, do you think?
That'll be gutting for Olivia, because Alex actually did really well against our Super League team before Christmas. You know, really drove the ball down well. So to bring her off when, you know, the other players are not actually doing what, you know, as performing, as we say, from Olivia, was quite crucial, because I think Alex Kirk's actually had a good game, which, you know, I'm quite happy to see that, you know, being from Yorkshire and actually playing here at Leeds. I'm sure she's got a lot to prove, and mentally it'd be a tough game for her today as well.
Just it looks like she's all right, but maybe just suffered a slight blow to the wrist there. But
yeah.
She's just looking at it a bit gingerly. But that's
if
she's
she's anything
okay.
like shooters, they almost need a little bit of TLC anyway. Oh, she's that was quite a crucial decision by the umpire on Adams. She obviously blew her for being offside, and Adams wasn't happy with that call. But, you know, that's actually gone against Loughborough, because Woki again is at the end of it to seal the ball away.
And it's the first time that Leeds Met have been 10 points clear. So do you think from this point they'd be extremely disappointed if they were then to lose the game from the position they find themselves in with 12 minutes to go?
Oh, to be honest, if they lost it at this particular time, I do think they'll be running for the next 3 days. I wouldn't want to be in the changing room with Anna Newell if they were to lose that. But, you know, 10 goals, although it seems a lot, Mark, it's easy to get back, and, you know, with the players that Loughborough have, that is easily achievable as well.
And Leeds Met just really need to keep the pressure up here and not take their foot off the gas, I guess.
Yeah, that was great mark by Laura Gregory. What Laura Gregory is doing to the Welsh International is she shoots with 2 hands, obviously from the centre of her head. She's just literally just marking the middle of the ball, which, you know, is really putting her off. But, you know, that's the problem with Leeds. You know, we're in the last quarter, them mistakes can't be made. We can't be giving Loughborough easy ball, because they'll just keep creeping back at us.
Pegged it back to 8 points now, and I'd say the next point or two could be really crucial for the outcome of this game.
Yeah, definitely. And Loughborough will be mad at that. That's a silly mistake. Footwork at this level shouldn't be happening. Whether she, you know, believes she did that, you know, I think one of the things that we almost got taught was to tidy your feet up. You know, really say to the umpire, my feet are tidy. I'm definitely in a position, you know, that you're not going to blow me. And it's to get out of the umpire's mind. Come on, Woki. That was a great shot. Woki's actually having an excellent game at there. I think she's looking really fit, especially in the Super League team, but she's really looking fit in this, and I think that's really paying her dividends, because, you know, when you're tired and you've got to concentrate on shooting and stuff like that. Jo Walker's not happy, obviously, with that decision, but there's a fine line when you get yourself quite tight to a post, you know, with the keeper, you know, and the only way is sometimes it can look, you know, like you're contacting. That was a great finish by Joe Hatton. Joe Hatton and Nia now are under a lot of pressure because every ball that goes into that circle now has to be put through that ring if they've got any chance of coming back at us now. I think there'll be a few people on this sideline a little bit nervous here, Mark. Like, look at that finish, Mark.
So the changes that the coach made at the break, do you think they're really starting to pay dividends already this quarter?
Yeah, I personally think that Joe Hatton should have been let loose on court a little bit earlier, probably about half-time. I think with the centre court of O'Sullivan and Katie Rowe, I think they'd have drove the ball better, and it'd give what Joe Hatton was doing is getting really tight. She was getting really caught on the baseline and really caught deep into the circle, and I think it'd give her a little bit more freedom to roam a little bit.
The lead's down to 7 points now, so pressure starting to build on the home side.
Yeah.
Less than 10 minutes to go now, so what can Anna Neal do on the sideline to influence the players now?
I think that's one of the hardest things for the coaches. We do have this role now that you can't really coach from the sideline, and that's the hardest thing between when you're playing it and when you're watching it. It's so much harder to sit on the bench when you can't, make an impact on the game, and you've just got to rely on your players to come out and do a job. But balls like that, easy balls like that, Joe Hatton's just going to sink this away. And now if you actually look at the score, Loughborough have just pulled 5 goals back. Hopefully the change that Olivia made at quarter time was hopefully 1 quarter too late. And we can actually, keep this lead up. We've got 8 minutes of hard work to do now, and we've really got to concentrate on this. Jo Walker's mark has really got to be strong, There isn't any time for error now. That was a great shot finish from her, but she's really got to start running onto that ball and not giving in. That's Adams too.
It's been a real dynamo Adams again. She's just starting to move so quickly around court that she's losing her marker with relative ease.
Yeah, to be honest, Adams is doing a lot of work from her. She did a lot of work from in the first 2 quarters. Probably not getting that much support, but now she's really driving the ball out, and she's quite a tough. She looks like a tough little player as well. This is the first time I've actually seen this girl on court, but she's really, really influential in that centre court. She's supporting Jo Hatton well through the court as well. Jo Walker's really got to go strong on that. She's thinking that the goalkeeper is coming in, contacted her there, but actually Jo Walker really needs to be strong. She needs to snatch that ball in.
And the Leeds now down to 4 points with the scores Leeds Met 49, Loughborough 45.
Do you know what, that was a much needed intercept by Laura Gregg, and she was unfortunate there that she couldn't stop it from going out of play. But that's the sort of pressure. Every ball that Loughborough go into, we really want them under pressure.
And a mistake there from the Loughborough goal attack.
Yeah, 3-second rule, she didn't have the support. She was holding on to the ball too long. She thought it was a bit tight, but it's one of them, when you set the pace of the game, and this game is quite fast, when you do hold on to the ball, you're really challenging the umpires on the 3-second rule, because obviously they're used to the ball throwing so freely through the court. That was a great change. Faked it to Panagari running top, but Woki running the baseline.
A crucial point there for Woki.
Definitely. We really need to get this centre pass if we're ever going to take this game off Loughborough. We need to keep driving down as we're doing. Oh, that was unfortunate. We had Fran supporting on the edge, and it was just the wrong decision by Jo Walker.
Great interception there by Afrika, who's really dominated that area all game.
You would actually say she's been quietly effective, as we like to say in netball. You don't really know she's there, but when we need her, she comes in and really gets there. Come on, Walker, we need this now. Excellent. She did actually get a free shot there, but not needed by Walker, as she's been maintaining high shooting percentages through the game. She seals the ball. And look, Danny Bloomfield again. late on the intercept to come through to drive the ball down. Come on, Walker, we need this through the net. That was a great switch by Fran, easing the pressure on the shooters from the pressure that Rebecca's putting on her. But like again, Walker, influential to seal that ball away.
It took her a while to get her shooting together today, but she's not missed for a couple of quarters now, it seems. And her contribution here could really be very important for Leeds Met. They're holding on to a 7-point lead now with the scores at 52-45. Loughborough just pulling one back there. Just 4.5 minutes to go now, Tracy. The pressure is starting to build.
I know. I think Anna's legs are shaking here. I would actually like to say that we've actually got this game in the bag, as they say. However, we play like that. You know, I think, you know, with these two teams, they've got such good players. You know, really good coaches and input. And I think it's just, you know, sometimes you just have a bad day at the office, and it's who's going to have that bad day. When we went down to Loughborough, travelling never helps teams. You know, different scenarios, court. You know, we've got the television here today as well. You know, and we've had a little bit of delay in play, and all this has effects on the team. But Walker seals the game there to take us, you know, back to our 8-goal lead, which we had, you know, earlier on in the third quarter, and hopefully we can maintain this. That's a great shot by Jo. That looks like a frustrated shot, you know. I think she knows now that, you know, Leeds Met, you know, have got every opportunity to take in this game, but she's still there to plant the, you know, she could give in, but she's really trying out there.
Jo Walker with another opportunity here. Just lots of pressure on her there as she took the shot and eventually paid there for Loughborough.
Yeah, that was great marking by Rebecca. And I actually think she's quite an influential defender. It's really getting contested now, you know, as the teams are starting to put in. Oh, that was a great move by the shooter Nia. She just needed probably a higher ball. A lot of the shooting has been there, Mark, and a lot of the movement. It's just been a lot of ball placement errors, which Olivia will not be happy with, because throughout her career she had great ball placement and could really understand, you know, and had minimal error. You're looking on your centre court having, you know, a less than 90% error rate, and that's probably one of the things that really has let them down. You know, they've not been able to find the shooters and not created enough space for them. That was a great shot by Jo Harton.
Do you think they've still got a chance here, Tracy? They've pegged the scores back now to, there's 5 points in it with just over 2 minutes remaining. Is that too much to ask from Loughborough?
I actually don't think it is. I don't think it is. However, I hope that we do, you know, maintain our lead and do come out with a victory. It's really good that, that although whoever wins or loses this game today, they've still got a chance of playing each other, and I really do hope that these two teams go all the way, because you can imagine a Bucks final with these two teams in it. I think, you know, will be great for netball, because like you say, you've seen the game that they put out today, and it'd be really good.
It's been a great contest today, hasn't it, Tracy? I mean, obviously I've not had a lot of exposure to netball, but I've really enjoyed watching today, and just seeing some of the battles on court has been really great. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think it's a non-contact sport, but now contact is only deemed if it's actually on the ball in contest. So the umpires have really let this game flow, I would say, and I think it's been good umpired as well. And with the experience of Jenny Skelton and obviously Chris Wilson-Brown, that has obviously paid dividends.
Less than a minute to go now. 3 points the advantage for Leeds Met. Loughborough really must believe they're still in this game.
Definitely. And what you reckon on is you can actually score about 3 or 4 goals in a minute. So basically the game is not lost, is won by Leeds Met, and they've made a break here, Loughborough, but I think it's just going to be slightly too late. We look at the timekeeper now getting up to the umpire. When she starts talking to the umpire, there's 10 seconds to go. And look, Loughborough's still trying. That's what the work rate that Loughborough put in, you know. Oh, give her the ball. Joe Hatton, they're screaming for the ball. Give me the ball, give me the ball. This is a contact here now. If Joe Hatton gets this in, she has. That's 1 point in it, Matt. What a finish to a game. It's Leeds centre pass. They only need to steal this now and it's a draw. I hope Leeds don't let this get away. What a great finish, Matt.
And that's the final whistle. The final score here, Leeds Met 54, Loughborough 53. It really went all the way there, Tracy. We couldn't have asked for a better game.
Oh, Matt, that was exceptional. And both teams have got to be happy with that performance, even though Leeds Met probably more because they come out with a win.
Right, Tracy, I'll let you go, and Tracy's going to have a word with the coaches here, with the team captain. So, as we said, the final score here today: Leeds Met 54, Loughborough 53. A thrilling contest that really went down to the wire, and a very pleasing home victory for Leeds Met, who will now replace Loughborough at the top of the Bucks League and go through to the Bucks Championship playoffs with a home draw guaranteed.
I have Danny Bloomfield with me here, the captain of Leeds Met University. Well done, Danny. What did you think about that game?
I think we started off really well. We got the early lead. I mean, last quarter was very scrappy. We were fighting for everything. We probably could have done a bit better, but we've come out with a win, and that's all we wanted for today.
You seem to have fits and starts in that game today. I thought Loughborough come out and started really well, and then you seemed to take about 8 goals off them and let them come in. What influenced that today?
I just think the passion that we all have. We wanted to win today. You know, a lot of the girls play Super League here. We won them there. We wanted to keep that, you know, pride in us, and we wanted to win it again here for the university with some of the other girls that don't particularly play for Super League. So I think that's what we wanted to come out with.
So now top of the table, the girls must be happy, Anna must be happy. Where does this set you now for the next few weeks?
I think we'll just keep training, keep pushing ourselves, not let it get complacent that we've won, and just keep pushing for that final.
And well done today, Danny. You had a great game. Thank you. I have Anna Newell here, Director Netball Leeds Met. Anna, exceptional win, congratulations. Top of the table, what do you think about that game?
Yeah, mixed feelings really. I thought that we played well for probably 3.5 quarters, and then we just kept letting them back in, and particularly the last 5 minutes we had a centre pass that we should have just took down to goal and made sure we scored off, and we didn't, and then that opened the floodgates to counting down the clock. But it was a great game.
Oh, it was exceptional. Top of the table, you can't deny any of that. There was some key players on that court today. Who do you think made the biggest impact on this game for your side?
I probably would say Afi. I thought that she mounted Jo Horton pretty well. I mean, Jo, when she gets the ball, she puts it in, but I thought she put the pressure on the passes and the decision making.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think turned the game? You were 8 goals up and suddenly Luff come back at you. you know, that happened a few times during the game. How are you going to go away and work on strategies like that?
I think consistency, and when we're under pressure, we didn't keep with the things that work for us, like triangles and set centre passes and things that we spent time on in training. When we're under pressure, it kind of went in the background a little bit.
And what do you think about Loughborough Lightning changes? Do you think them changes were too late, or do you think, you know, the changes that Liv made, you know, was beneficial on the game?
I think switching Jo Orton especially to goal attack made a difference for us. Possibly if she would have made them earlier, it might have been a different game, but I'm just glad she left it to the last quarter.
Okay, so it's one game each this season. Would you like to see Loughborough in the Bucks final?
I don't know. Whoever we get in the final, it's going to be tough. But we know whenever we play Loughborough, it's a tight game. So, yeah, I'll take anybody.
Thank you, Anna. Well done today.
Today's action here at the Cry Hall, where Leeds Met have recorded an impressive and exciting victory over their rivals Loughborough. Thanks to all the students that have been involved in this production today. We'll be bringing you some more action soon, so check back to leedsmet.ac.uk/sport, where you can find the latest news and information about sport here at Leeds Met. Thanks for watching.